Hello everyone, my name is Jenna Cameron. I'm with Mediflixx and I have the pleasure of being here with Sarah Nicholl. She is the Chief of Staff for DocPanel. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today at RSNA. You guys really want to uplift the radiologist specialty and like what they like to read, right? And that's what DocPanel is all about, right? Is finding the right radiologist to read the right study.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really true. We had a couple of co-founders, and one of our co-founders was driven to begin the business based on a misdiagnosis that his father received that ended up causing his father to pass away. And in 2016, he came up with this great concept, and the concept was built on the fact that anyone, no matter where you actually live in the country, can receive the best of care in radiology. We have a few hundred clients within the healthcare space, hospitals, imaging centers, radiology groups, academic medical centers, rural and regional hospital systems, and they all have coverage needs, right? They all have need for subspecialty coverage.
Right.
And we have lots of rural hospitals who are limited in the services that they can provide. So we have patients who might be in a very remote area.
Yeah.
Think about a patient who goes into heart failure or thinks that they may have a heart attack and has to drive 2 hours away to just confirm
That has
what
happened.
their provider is suspecting because they don't have access to a cardiac MR program. And so we have partnered with a lot of rural and regional hospitals in the middle of nowhere who want to truly improve the standard of care and the patient's access to good radiologists. So we have radiologists sitting in Washington, D.C., in Maryland, reading for clients in remote Missouri, offering them state-of-the-art cardiac MR coverage. Patients can know the extent and cause of the heart failure. They can know whether or not they've had a heart attack and what the impact of it is more immediately without having to drive a very long time. We also do a lot of second opinion work, and we also help hospitals that are dealing with some very significant increases in imaging volume and can't keep up for whatever reason. So we come in, we understand that need is there, and we're able to help them with their backlog, get them to a very good point there, plateau them, and we're also able to help with those turnarounds identify things that could be hidden in these exams that have been performed 1 day, 2 days ago. So we have a very stringent critical findings process. Our team cares deeply about reporting and communicating and tracking down critical findings when they find them. That's a wonderful thing, and I think a great impact that we're having. And just getting the right radiologist to read the right study gives that patient, even if they don't know it, that much better of a diagnosis, that much better of a future plan, treatment plan, next steps.
Yeah, incidental findings are so interesting, and it's so great that you guys are really focused on helping with that process and making sure that patients have exactly what they need. They know what's going on inside their bodies, and they're given care that they weren't even necessarily expecting.
Right.
So that's fantastic. Also, regarding access, a wonderful mission, truly, to equalize healthcare and provide access to everybody and equal access to everybody all of the time. That would drive me. And at this company as well, so that makes a lot of sense. I love the impact that you guys are having there too.
The radiologists come to us, maybe because they're burnt out, maybe because they have wonderful jobs, but they're just getting a lot of cases that maybe they don't enjoy, or maybe they have a certain type of case that they really want to hone in on. So they come to us and say, hey, we really want to read CT, chest, abdomen, pelvises. We're getting a lot of other body or abdominal cases, and we just really want to hone in on the chest, abdomen, pelvis, or we like the temporal bones, and or I want like 5 of this type of study a day mixed in with a couple of others, and I want a variety. I want to keep it up. I want to be interested, and I want to be refreshed throughout the day.
It sounds like radiologists are able to curate what they're doing in their position within DocPanel.
It's true.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Can you imagine if you could just write your own job description?
Yes.
And what? Yeah, you're like, yes, I can because I work at DocPanel.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we do for everyone here. So that's fantastic. I'm so happy to see that. I'm so happy that radiologists are being reinvigorated in a time when burnout is at an all-time high. I'm glad you guys are allowing radiologists an opportunity to feel passionate about patient care again. So how do you make sure that you're bringing in the best of the best at DocPanel to do these specialty readings?
Yeah, it's a really great question. So we don't just take anyone. I joke around with radiologists who come to our booth and I say, you have to know the special handshake.
Yeah.
It's a very prestigious club. But what it really is that we need to find radiologists who connect with our concept. We have a lot of people coming in from very classic teleradiology backgrounds because at our heart, we are a teleradiology company. Literally speaking, we have radiologists remotely reading for hospitals and imaging centers, radiology groups. But what we do is when we meet a radiologist and we know that they're interested in coming into our network, we meet with them. We really try to understand who they are as people and what they define as success. It's really important to us not to make them feel like they're commodities, because I think that they can feel that elsewhere, and they can also feel that they're very alone in this bubble or on a deserted island of being a teleradiologist. They're not showing up to a hospital every day. They're not showing up necessarily into a reading room. They don't have the ability to swivel chair and talk to another peer about an interesting or a complex case. They are quite literally sitting in their home on a workstation and don't necessarily have access to other peers or other colleagues who can help them or consult with them on a case. So we want them to understand that by coming into the DocPanel network, we will share opportunities with them, reading opportunities. They have the ability to meet with their clients, put faces to the names.
That's good.
They can actually feel like their clients are reviewing their reports, their diagnostic reports, that they're providing feedback, that the radiologist can provide feedback to them, their techs, their administrative staff, to make the relationship better. It's not a one-sided thing. They're not just a body sitting at a workstation in a home office states away. So I think that really matters.
Yeah.
So to your question about how do we ensure quality, that's probably the single most important piece. The feedback is coming from our actual clients, and the radiologists feel like they are part of the team and they are part of that practice.
Right. They feel connected to everybody that they're working with, and you're not just acting as a third party.
Correct.
Right. So it's not like the information comes from here to you, and then from you to the radiologist. You actually connect them with the client directly, so that way they can work better and smarter together. And it's also more efficient that way, I'm sure. So everybody feels empowered to work together. That's awesome.
Sometimes that can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, I think being introduced to chairman of radiology or directors of radiology and having to meet them and being on, feels almost like an interview.
Yeah.
But we're really adamant about the point that they're meeting each other to actually develop the relationship. So that's the first piece. Every radiologist who comes in, they must connect to the concept. They must understand that they are our clients too, that they can dictate how much they want to read, what they want to read, when they want to read, and that we kind of go at their pace. If they want to join full time and join us in that capacity, we have lots of opportunities that can support that. Alternatively, if they want to read part-time or episodically, or even perhaps just focus on second opinions because that's fun for them, and they want that patient interaction, we can match them up with opportunities that way. So it's about making sure that radiologists are actually coming in and being given what makes them successful, what they're good at. So we really try to focus on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're curating opportunities that meet people where they are, and it sounds like you're also opening up a gamut of opportunities for people based on connecting them to those facilities, right?
Yes.
I know it can be intimidating to have a conversation with the chair of radiology, but it can also be really enlightening, inspiring, and a great opportunity for those radiologists to be connected in a way that they would never would be before. It really feels like DocPanel is all about connecting people with the people that they need.
Yes.
That's amazing.
We continue to take feedback. We have sprints every few weeks, and over the last year, we've pretty much transformed our platform, and we've improved productivity 30 to 50%.
That's amazing.
So we have a lot of great feedback. People love reading on the system. They love reading on the platform. They find it seamless. They find it different.
Yeah.
It's not like your traditional packs. So, and it is very intuitive, by the way. Our clients also use the same platform. Our administrative and operational staff uses the same platform.
Yeah.
So we're all seeing the very same data, perhaps in different ways.
Yeah, and it holds everybody a little bit more accountable, I would imagine, right? Because
Yes.
if you're all having to go into the same platform every day, then you're all going to continue to have the same experience and then want it to do better because
Yes.
it's what you're experiencing too. It's not like, hey, radiologist, this is what you get to work on, and I'm working on this over here, right? You're all kind of working in the same space.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Our platform is not only set up for the radiologists and the clients, but as we grow, we've grown 50% easily over the last several years. And what we've noticed is the more volume of cases that come in means more work for your administrative staff. And what we actually had to do is just challenge the way we thought about things, and we had to say to ourselves, how do we grow, how do we scale the system and the solution in a way that doesn't require more and more people? So we're doing wonderful things. We're creating AI-based case assignment, right? We know our radiologists, we know what they like to read, we know how much they like to read, and our system goes in, has a concept of virtual reading rooms where each radiologist may belong, right? They may be virtually sitting in a reading room at the time, which qualifies them to read for a certain subset of cases that are coming into our system real time throughout the day. And our auto case assignment dishes them out in a very fast and seamless way. So we're working on that. It's really meant a fast turnaround time. Cases come in, they're ingested into our system, they're immediately assigned out to a radiologist who is ready to read them at that point in time.
Well, it's been such a pleasure speaking with you.
Me too.
And we appreciate your time.
Thank you
so
very
much,
much.
Sarah. It's been a pleasure.